Internet sensation Peanut the squirrel is murdered by New York's government. I know it sounds kind of funny, but it actually does show government overreach. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where the happy patriots are. Here's the first. There's going to be a lot of memes, but it's also a very touching story. Here's Trump. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're killing the squirrels.
We just learned that they have euthanized Peanut.
And the raccoon as well.
And the raccoon as well. I am so sorry. This must be really difficult for you.
Yeah, and I don't. People I think have an overvalue of their pets, but even C.S. Lewis said, you own a dog long enough and they do become a member of the family. We start pumping our love into them, and it's real. Here's Rep. Margie Taylor Greene. The state of New York broke into an innocent American's house, stole his pet squirrel, Peanut, and then killed it. It's a shame Peanut wasn't an illegal alien, because he would have been welcomed in just like the illegal alien thugs who murder Americans every day. Democrat-run regimes want to control every aspect of your life and destroy it, and that's the serious side of this story.
It not only tears my family apart, but Peanut was the cornerstone of our nonprofit animal rescue. And 10 to 12 DEC officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I was sat there like a criminal.
This is what the nice people do. This is what the loving people do. The earth worshipers, the animal lovers do. This is what they do with government.
We have a very disappointing and sad update now on the saga of Peanut the squirrel.
You might have heard this little guy's been making headlines this week, and New York State officials now tell us the pet squirrel has been put down. Authorities seized Peanut from a home in Pine City, New York. It's a little south of Elmira. Apparently, there have been multiple complaints. Peanut's owner says the squirrel's mother was hit by a car, and he'd been taking care of the animal ever since. The owner runs an animal sanctuary and says he knows it's illegal to own a wild animal without a license, and says he was working to get Peanut certified as an educational animal. All of this is done to test for rabies. All right, that's what Albany's focusing on.
Now, here's the Democrat, Sean Mahar. He's the guy in New York. This is acting New York Commissioner of Environment Conservation. He's currently working. He's making $220,000 a year to oppress this pet owner.
After they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status, then proceeded to ask me if I had cameras in my house, then proceeded to go through every cabinet, nook, and cranny of my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
They got a search warrant?
They got a search warrant.
By the government. These people are evil. It's oppressive. They want to get into every aspect of your lives.
You think you despise the media enough, but you don't. Just trust me on this. I thought I did. I thought I despised them sufficiently. But then I see an article like this. That's right. The lawful removal of an animal becomes a rallying cry for the far right. A dude adopted an orphan squirrel, nursed it back to health, and kept it like a pet, and it became this internet sensation, right? It was Peanut. This was part of the nice realm of social media. And the government actually went to the trouble to get warrants, raid his home, confiscate the squirrel along with the raccoon, and then, here's the best part, euthanize them. That's right. This is what your government spent tax dollars on.
Here's another meme. You are sheltering a squirrel. You are not.
4 departments and a judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon.
I don't want to give short shrift to the raccoon, so I put a little clip of, this is Fred the raccoon.
That you wouldn't be here anymore.
And then they took them and killed them.
Why did they go through all that to get a search warrant for an animal that had been with you very safely, and the world witnessed this for 7 years? Why now suddenly did they show up with a search warrant and take these animals?
We haven't a clue.
Yeah, and they're confused. They're not given an explanation. They don't have to. This is big government. You sit there and let us take your pets. We'll kill them. Here's some memes. Democrats with voter ID? No. Killing pet squirrels? Yes. We're going to get into a lot of that, too.
Again, Peanut was an indoor squirrel, not harming anybody. He's been with us for 7 years. Not a single complaint was ever filed for this animal. We had him for 7.5 years. He became the world's most famous squirrel. We weren't hiding him by any means. He was all over TikTok. He became the first squirrel on TikTok to ever hit 1 million followers.
Now, what isn't funny is that these people are animal lovers and they have a shelter with over 300 animals that they fund because of their fundraising that they did with Peanut the squirrel. Now, here's some of the memes. I know they're funny, but it is going to affect this election as well. I'm covering it.
And I just had a little thing, a little birdie told me that we're leading in New Jersey. What's that all about, huh?
There's Peanut the squirrel in a cowboy hat with Avenge Me, and now all the MAGA stuff. There's Trump with a MAGA hat. There's Trump with the squirrels. These are all AI images. There's Trump with a squirrel and a raccoon.
It wasn't always like this. They arrested Peanut, found him guilty, and murdered him. The people rioted.
And then we started a nonprofit animal rescue called Peanut's Freedom Farm to help animals like Peanut fight a good fight when they're in a neglected case or they're sitting in a slaughter auction. And he was the cornerstone of our life and our organization. We used his platform to help raise money for the 300 animals we have at our sanctuary.
They're animal lovers, but they cross the government. And that's a problem that tells you the way that Democrats see government versus the way that Republicans view government.
You think you despise them enough. But clearly there's more work to be done.
Here's Rasmussen Reports with this AI image on Final Call. Even they're showing the raccoon and the squirrel up in heaven. There's MAGA hat with the two animals over Trump voters. There's a Don't Tread on Me flag. Here's Babylon Bee. Trump projected to win in 50-state landslide after appearing in a squirrel costume. That's a parody, but now Trump wearing squirrel outfits because he wore the trash collector outfit are going around the internet. What radicalized you? Asked the little NPC unit to the mega Chad Trump reporter. There's the New York Post. Peanut the squirrel, beloved pet and internet sensation, euthanized after being seized by New York State. And then here's, meanwhile, Biden's commander, the German Shepherd, who bit 24 times, is running free. That's the two-tiered justice system, my friends.
And now all we have are memories of Peanut.
Here's Dom Luker breaking narratives. He's cracking a joke. You're developing. I'm hearing reports that Peanut the squirrel had information that could send Hillary Clinton to prison that was releasing this month. And our final image, there's Trump with the squirrel's ghost or whatever in heaven. I just found it. It's funny. It's sad, but the internet is going to move this to use it for branding to help this election. It promotes Trump, whose brand is smaller government, versus the Democrats, whose brand is bigger government in every aspect of your life. I'm Doug in exile.